Hey, how you doing? Here's my video on how to um, find an article, and you're not quite sure how to find it. And this is in order of importance, but I'm going to walk you through my 5 top tips. And they are log in, that's a big one, and I'll talk about why. Then we'll look in the library catalog for the title, look in Google for the title, look in the library catalog for the journal, and then there's also interlibrary loan and document delivery, which you could push that right up to the very top if you wanted to, and I'll talk about that as well. So the first thing, logging in is the big one because when you log in, you not only log into our Marriott library, but you also log into all of the journal connections that are hosted on Amazon servers in New Jersey or the European Union or anything like that. So I'm going to log in to off-campus access. Library account, I think, logs you into the library catalog so you can save books and articles and things. So this is the critical one. The critical one that takes forever. Okay, now that I'm logged in, even going through Google can help me find the titles of things. But the first place I like to start is the library catalog because that knows what databases we have. So if you put in quotes the name of the title, and library catalogs and Google and other search engines kind of get messed up by colons sometimes. So something just like a big chunk of text from the title, if you put that in quotes, what that'll look for is that big chunk of text. So complexities of ethical decision making is all stuck together. And so it's just looking for that string of text when you put it in quotes. And when I look for it there, it's looking amidst all of our subscriptions. And there it is. And it says online access. Um, Here's the rub, though. It might be an online access to an abstract, which doesn't help us out at all. Because I'd be tempted to go, haha, there you go. But it's never that simple, is it? So when you're going into these catalog records, look for a link to online resource. And then it's going to look in the other databases. Maybe it's going to find it at the journal level. Oh, okay. So it should show up in any of these databases. There's overlap between databases. So if one doesn't work, if one's a dud, you can go back and click on one of the other ones. Is this the full text? It looks like it is. Hooray! Okay, second thing to do is if you go to Google or any other search engine, you can do that same thing because many of the journals are out and indexed on the open web. You can't get the full text on the open web unless you're logged in. Remember that first step that we did. But here's this article again. And this is at the publisher website where they provide the journal that gets indexed by the database, and it's like one of those Russian nested dolls. But once we're logged in, so it should put us right into the full text. But sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it'll say, oh, insert credit card here. So sometimes that one works. So the third one that I wanted to show you, and this is if you get really stuck. The third one is you could go in and look up the name of the journal at the library homepage, and you could go through. So when you click on that, you could go in and you could type in Families in Society, the name of the journal, and then you could look for issue 83, volume 5, pages 474, and you could deliberately look it up that way. This is really getting into the nuts and bolts of things, and this is something that you can leave me to do. Lastly, interlibrary loan. If you go to, say for example, where's that one? Okay. If you get to one of these, or one of these, and you just have the citation info, if you go to interlibrary loan, you can just enter that citation info, and we have something called a document delivery service, where even if we have a copy of it, we don't throw it back on to the library patron anymore and say, hey, you look it up, we've got it, without telling you where it is. Not that we ever did that. But if you go into article and you don't want to track it down, all you do is put in this citation information and then click submit request, which is under my head. When you click submit request, then whether we have it or whether we have to borrow it from another library, it doesn't matter to you. We will get that PDF for you and send it to you. And so this is how, these are the steps that I would go through. Usually I go to interlibrary loan before I go to all the trouble that I showed you. But it's worthwhile knowing all those different options, just in case you need to have something right then and there. Have a good one. Thanks for reaching out.